Hello, I'm live. Welcome. As usual, I'm going to start by burning a little bit of Palo Santo and incense to clear this space. And I invite you to do the same. Woo, this is a lot. If you have some Palo Santo to burn, you could do that. You can have some incense. Right now I have both. This is amazing. And welcome, whoever's joining me at the moment. I am going to start cleansing the space, taking a deep breath. And as I do that, I invite you to do the same, to take in a cleansing breath so you can come into this room. Today is the second part of the self-love series. And it's all about forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness. So I'm inviting you to get comfortable, get a glass of water, cup of tea, and I invite you to come into this space with an open mind and an open heart. And even if you feel right now that you cannot come in with an open heart, at least come with the intention to open. So I'm going to put this away. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Arlene. Hi, Ellie. And I'm going to speak a little bit in Spanish. Hoy va a ser solamente en inglés y para los que me quieran acompañar en español va a ser el miércoles, pero sí le pido que me acompañen si se quieren quedar y si no, pueden ver, vamos a hablar del mismo tema el miércoles, que es del autoperdón. So going back to today's subject, we are going to be speaking about self-forgiveness. And this is the second part of the self-love series that I am doing every Monday in English and Wednesdays in Spanish. And the reason that I was called to do this is because I know that we do all of the things and sometimes we forget to do the simple things. We want to heal quickly. We think that we need to do all of the modalities. We need to read all of the books. And we forget that it can start with simplicity. And the most important work that you could do is to fully, completely love yourself. And it is not a one day or a one-time deal. It's something that we need to do every single day. And we need to make sure that we are reminding ourselves that we are willing and open to do the work that it needs for us to completely, unconditionally love ourselves. So the reason why forgiveness is the second part is because last week, if you joined me, we were doing about acceptance. And when we speak about acceptance, sometimes we say, yeah, I accept myself. But if you did the exercises from last week, and if you didn't, I advise you to go watch after this one, though. But I invited you to look at those parts of you that you judge and decide that was the first step, was to decide that you wanted to love yourself and to look at those parts that you were not accepting so you can send love to those parts. But if you encounter parts of you that you couldn't fully accept, that you felt that they were unforgivable or unacceptable, that's when self-forgiveness comes in. Because unless you actually forgive yourself, you are always going to be torturing yourself. You are always going to continue to think about all of the things that you've done, all the things that you should have done, or the mistakes, quote unquote, that you judge of yourself. And it wasn't until I was presented with the opportunity to forgive myself that I found freedom. Not because there are not going to be times in which I feel that I did something wrong or I feel guilty about something, because it happens. We are having a human experience, and within the human experience is going to be times that we are going to feel like we did something wrong or we made a mistake. But if we know that we have the power to forgive ourselves, that we know that we can allow ourselves to look at these things knowing that we deserve love regardless of our mistakes, then we can find freedom. We are not being judged by God. And that was my biggest and most difficult lesson to learn when I started my healing journey. I was thinking that God was looking down on me and judging me for all of those things that I was doing in my 20s, for example. That God had this list, the infamous list of sins based on my actions. And that was the idea that I was harnessing. That was what I was thinking day in and day out. That how can I be holy? How can I have a peaceful mind when I know I did all those things and I know that God is judging me for those things? And it wasn't until I was presented with this idea that God is not a God of judgment. God is a God of love. And that the moment that we invite that love within you, you can give that love to yourself. But you first need to forgive yourself because God forgave you the moment that you made the mistake. So when you think about this loving, godly energy, when you think about God as the energy that is all loving and all forgiving, then you can give yourself the permission to forgive yourself too. Not because that's a free pass, because I don't want that to be confused as I do anything I want and then I just can forgive myself and then I can keep walking around like nothing happened. If you really do not feel the regret and the remorse and you are not ready to actually change, then it makes no sense for you to do the forgiveness because you actually don't feel bad in the first place. You don't feel like the understanding and the lesson was learned. But I'm speaking when we make mistakes that we know that we no longer want to partake in that behavior. And we feel guilty about it, but it's already done. I want you to know and to remember that you can have a second opportunity and you can allow yourself to be free from those things by practicing forgiveness. But the first step is for you to be honest. So I'm going to give you 3 main steps today so you can practice at home. Be honest with yourself. What are those things that you did that you keep repeating and torturing yourself because you feel like you are being judged by God or you are being judged by other people? If you continuously think, what are they thinking about me? I cannot believe what I did, or I cannot even take the idea or live with the idea of other people finding out this or that about me. If you find yourself doing that, I want you to be honest with yourself. What parts of those are you judging? What is the things about you that you feel that are unforgivable? But they're not helping you. They're not helping you on this journey. They're not helping you to grow. They're not helping you to be a better person. They are just making you miserable. And it's impossible for you to love yourself if you keep judging yourself for those things. It's the same way that if you are with a partner and they cheat on you and you decide to stay and you say you forgive them, but every second that you get, you throw that thing on their faces, then they are going to say, you didn't forgive me. Because every moment that you have, you throw this on my face. That means that you didn't forgive me. And a lot of us, and I know I'm guilty from doing that, is, oh yeah, I forgave you, but I didn't forget. But you can remember, but that doesn't mean that you need to continuously torture the other person. And the same way with us, we can remember what we've done. We can remember how that made us feel, but that doesn't mean that we continuously need to throw that on our faces. Because then what's the point? If you learn that lesson, then you can allow and you can remember so you don't make the mistake again. Yes, it is good to remember because when we don't remember, we continue to make the same mistake over and over. But we're going to remember from a place of compassion and understanding and not from a place of judgment. We're going to remember that we made that mistake once and that we can learn from that, because this is the point of going through this journey, is to learn. But we can now continue and be differently, and we can act differently. So if you are joining me right now and you're live with me, I want you to, take pen and paper if you have, the space and the time to do it, and write down those areas in your life, in your gut, that you keep judging and you keep repeating and you keep torturing yourself. And trust me, after you do this exercise and you decide to let it go, your life is going to be a lot more peaceful. Now you can use that time to create the future that you want to live, instead of repeating and reliving the past and the pain, because the brain does not know the difference. If you keep reliving that same story, your brain thinks it's happening right now, and you're sending that signal to the universe as if you are still that person. So remember that you are energy, and whatever you are thinking about constantly, that's what you are recreating. That's what you're giving energy to. That is what you are vibrating. So we want to vibrate that love. And after you do that and you have that map of, this is what I'm judging of myself, this is the past that I cannot stand, this is the fear that I have if others find out, write it down. And then I want you to go one by one and acknowledge. Acknowledgement is the second step of forgiveness. Acknowledge, what did you learn from this? What space of mind were you at when you did whatever it is that you're judging of yourself? Acknowledge the lessons that you were able to receive because of that. Like I mentioned earlier, like if it was about cheating, if you were the person that cheated, for example, and you caused pain and you feel guilty about that, what do you learn? Acknowledge that now you are a changed person because of this situation. You are not the same person that you were before that. So let's acknowledge, what do you learn? And if you didn't learn anything, then that is an opportunity for you to look for the lessons. Because what we don't want to do is to continue to go over the same situation. Whatever we don't learn, we repeat. I always tell my clients this: if you don't want to repeat the situation, let's learn what is the lesson for us here. Let's look at it. A lot of them don't want to look at whatever is painful, because it is painful. But if you decide to look at it, then you can start to release the pain. If you decide to look at it, then you're not going to continuously torture yourself for that. And then you can start looking at, oh, this is what I learned from this situation. Like, even though I felt pleasure at the moment that I was cheating, I did not enjoy what happened afterwards. So perhaps now I can become more honest about how I feel with my current partner when I'm thinking of cheating or when I'm not happy in a relationship. If it's something about you per se, like, a habit that you don't like and you judge yourself of. I remember when I used to smoke, I used to judge myself about it all the time. All the time I felt subconscious about it because I knew it was not good for my health, but I didn't know how to let it go, and I was in a constant judgment. And it wasn't until I decided to look at it for what it was an addiction, and show myself compassion and be honest with myself about the judgment that I had of it and what was going on mentally and emotionally and physically with me, that I was able to forgive myself for getting into the addiction in the first place, to release the judgment that I had of myself and forgive myself for that judgment. And then look at, what was I learning? I'm learning this, and this. I'm learning I have an addictive personality. Don't start something as a habit or as a joke, because you most likely are going to become addictive. So right now, when I look back at those things, instead of judging myself for doing them, I look at what was the lesson for me. What did I learn from that experience? And one of the things that I always remember about that experience is that I thought that was impossible. When I used to think about quitting smoking, I thought that was physically impossible. And I was able to do it. So now when I am encountering something that I feel that is impossible, I can go back to that and say, oh, remember this time that you thought that was impossible? Is this one of those things? Can we now look at that part of you as well as maybe right now you think it's impossible, but we can do it. But it's because I was able to look at what I was judging without that judgment and forgiving myself for that person that I was when I was 20 something and acknowledge that I am not the same person. And after you acknowledge that, now we're going to move on to the third step. It is to commit. To commit to fully be present with yourself. To commit to the process of giving yourself forgiveness. To commit to the process of giving yourself compassion. You deserve compassion. You deserve forgiveness. If you think about your best friend telling you these things that you're judging yourself about, right? Will you forgive them? Will you tell them like you deserve to be forgiven? You deserve to be peaceful. You deserve to be loved. So if you can do that for someone else, then you can do that for you. You can give yourself that compassion, but you need to commit to it. You cannot just say, yeah, I forgive myself, and then just say it superficially, and then internally you're not feeling that. You're not going deep with that. You're not feeling that shame. We need to feel it to heal it, right? If you're not feeling it, it's because you have a barrier. You're putting a wall. So we need to allow that feeling to come to the surface. And that's what we do, the acknowledgement, and then committing to stay present with the discomfort, stay present with what you are judging, and decide to forgive it. And I want you to think about making a choice, right? When we commit, it's a choice. You can decide, I am going to commit. You're going to make the choice to continuously tell yourself and remind yourself, we can move past this. This is not who I am anymore. That is the choice that you are up to make. And I want you to choose, call this 3A, the choice of being different because of what you learned. If you acknowledge the fact that you learned something from those things that you're judging, and that because of those things that you're judging is that you became the person that you are right now, then you can choose to become the person that now knows more than you used to know. That now is wiser because of those things. And that if those things were not there for you to acknowledge and to grow from, you probably wouldn't be the person that you are now. I know that I certainly wouldn't be the person that I am now without those mistakes that I made. The mistakes that I made is what built the person that I am and the one that I am becoming. And the mistakes that I'm making today, I'm pretty sure are the ones that are teaching me who I'm going to be tomorrow. But instead of putting it in a box as I'm imperfect, I don't deserve love, I don't deserve forgiveness, we just stay there judging ourselves. I'm not good enough. I always make a mistake. I always do the same thing. Like, nobody's going to love me. Why should I love myself? Then you're never going to get there. And the goal of me creating this series is for you to create a loving relationship with yourself, that you create a relationship with you better than anything that you ever imagined. Because we all have, or at least I have, let's speak from my experience, romanticize a partnership with a person and imagine the perfect partner that we want to have. And we imagine how that relationship would be. And it's very common for us to ask each other, like, what is the person that you're looking for? What are the qualities that they have? But we never fully understand the relationship that we have with ourselves. We are not cultivating the self-love within ourselves. We're not going deep with our heart. We want to have heart-to-heart conversations with our partners, but we never have it with ourselves. We want them to treat us with love and kindness, but then we don't do that to us. So my intention is for you to be able to start building this loving relationship with you. To know what is it that you like, to know what hurts you, to know what is still torturing you, to know what you need to forgive, to know what makes you smile. One of my most famous questions when I start coaching someone is what makes you happy? And I would say 95% of my clients have no clue. They stay looking and staring at me. They stay in blank space. Like if I ask them, like, I don't know, a question without answer. And it takes some work and some time for them to inquire within to find out. Like, oh, this makes me happy. Or when I do this makes me happy. So this is how you can start questioning what makes you happy, but also what makes you unhappy. What are this past heaviness? What is that weight that you're carrying that you can forgive so you can move forward lighter? Imagine how lighter will you be. I certainly know that for me, I was so light when I was able to forgive myself for some stuff that I was carrying. I was able to start anew and give myself permission to become who I was becoming without feeling that I couldn't do it because, oh, you were that girl that did this, or you were the girl that did that. I made the choice to release the identification that I had with those things. And that's what I'm inviting you to do now. First, to be honest about those things. What are they? Second, acknowledge the lessons, acknowledge the experience, acknowledge the pain. It is so many of us hiding the pain that we feel because we feel that if we speak on it, if we give it a voice, if we say that we're in pain, we are going to look weak. Or people are going to judge us. But unless you acknowledge those things, you're not going to heal. You're going to just carry it with you. And it gets heavy. A glass of water on your hand is not heavy for a minute. But try 10 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then an hour, then a day. It's going to start getting heavy, and your arm is going to start hurting. And this is the same thing that happens with the unprocessed emotions. When we are judging ourselves and keeping it in, at the beginning, you don't think anything of it. You don't really think that that's going to affect your bottom line. But then a year passes by and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And before you know it, you're not happy. You feel depressed. You have anger. You don't have excitement for life. And then you come and you tell me, I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just know that I feel empty. Or I don't know what's wrong with me. I just know that nothing makes me happy anymore. Or I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel sad. And when I ask, when was the last time that you had a conversation with your heart? When was the last time that you forgave yourself? When was the last time that you sat quietly in meditation and you allow yourself to breathe? Silence. Most people are not doing those things. But you know what we are doing? We're drinking. And I know I used to be one of them. And no judgment because I know how it feels. But that's part of forgetting, right? When you feel the guilt, you want to forget and you look for an outside substance to help you forget. Or you look for a partner, sex, food. We need something to make us feel alive. We need something to make us feel good. We need something to make us feel worthy and loved. And that's why we go for those substances. But then they're gone, and then we go back to feeling that emptiness, and we go back to feeling that pain. Because it is not the answer. But when you do the work within you, then yes, there's pain that's going to come. There's going to times that you're going to feel pain. There's times that I feel pain. But I allow myself to feel it, be present with it. I know that it's part of the human experience, and that I know that a substance is not going to help it. It's just going to make it worse. It's just going to magnify the problem. That's why so many of us call our exes when we're drunk, because it just magnifies. Like all of those mental arguments that we had for not calling this person are out the window. We are not thinking, we are feeling. Because the alcohol is suppressing the capacity to think clearly. And then the heart takes over. And that's why you call, I love you, or whatever. You know, you're doing the things that you wouldn't do sober. But if you take care of those emotions sober, then there's no need for you to get the liquid courage, because you know that you have the courage within you to do it sober. So I'm not here telling you right now you need to quit all of this stuff that you're doing, which it would be ideal. But what I'm telling you is that let's start by feeling. And the moment that you start by feeling and forgiving, then you won't need to hide with something outside of you, be it a person or a substance. You can release with love and forgiveness, and you can start accepting yourself fully, like I spoke last week, as you are, even with the pain. But the more and more that you forgive yourself, it's like peeling an onion. A little layer of pain is going to go away. The more that you forgive yourself, more pain is going to go away. And one day, you're going to look back at those things that you were judging of yourself with compassion. You're going to look back at those things and say, that was some stuff, but I still love myself. I can still fully, completely love myself. And that is the goal. So I don't want to make it even longer. So I want to invite you to join me on a breath. You know, let's breathe into those parts of you that you realize that you're judging. Let's send love to those parts. Let's make the intention to forgive those parts of you. And even if right now you do it and you're like, oh, I still judge myself. You could do it again tomorrow. You could do it again next week. It's a process. But the only way is feeling it. And we're going to walk into that room and feel that judgment. Feel that shame. And then forgive us for feeling it and for continuously torture ourselves because of it. And remind us that we are lovable regardless of what we have done in the past. So if you're here with me live, the ones that are here still, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. I invite you to get comfortable, get a chair, in your sofa, in your bed, wherever you're at. What matters is that we breathe, and then what matters is your intention and your commitment to be present with what's coming up for you. So, as usual, I'm going to guide the meditation. I'm going to close my eyes because I meditate too. I walk my talk. I like to do everything that I'm teaching, and we do it here together. So let's close our eyes and take a deep breath. And release out of the mouth. Let's do it again. Take a deep, deep breath through the nose and out of the mouth. And let's do a third one. And this time, let's make some noise. Let's let that out. If there is something that landed for you, anything that I said, it resonated with you, if you felt it in your heart, let's let it out of the body. And let it go. It's okay to make noise. It's okay to be present with your body, with your feelings. Allow yourself to be present with your breath, with who you are, with your center, with your core. Take a deeper breath into the lungs. And this time we're going to breathe in through the nose and we're going to slowly breathe out of the nose. Expanding the belly. We're going to expand the belly. So we're going to take belly breath all the way in. And slowly breathing out. And as you breathe out, I want you to start relaxing your shoulders. Being present with your body. Take a deeper breath into the lungs, expanding your belly. Feel the air traveling down to your lungs, expanding you. Allow yourself to be present with your body. Being present with your heart. Be present with your feelings. Slowly breathe out. And as you breathe in, continue to relax your legs. And let's acknowledge them. Let's thank them for supporting you. For being your friend on this journey that sometimes gets heavy. If you can get up and walk, if you feel the support of your legs and your feet, let's be grateful for that in this moment. Let's acknowledge the partnership that you have with your body. And take a breath. Breathe deeply into the belly. In through the nose slowly and slowly out of the nose. Acknowledging your body for the amazing work that it's constantly doing. It's working even if you don't do anything. It's keeping you alive. It's keeping your heart beating. Your limbs moving. And breathe, taking a breath, observing how you continuously keep receiving air into your lungs. No matter how much you feel there's lack in your life, no matter if you feel that you're missing love, that you're missing money, that you're missing friends, family, you can still feel that breath. Breathe deeply into your lungs, expanding your belly. And let's show our gratitude for that connection with breath. That's the connection with God. And as you breathe in, you're breathing love, the love of God into your belly. You're sending energy to every cell of your body. Feel that love taking over your body. This love is there for you. It's available to you. Every breath that you take, you're breathing in the love of God. Just take a breath. And imagine the energy of God traveling in through the breath. Traveling down to your belly, traveling to your whole body. And as you breathe out, you're releasing the weight and the discomfort of this judgment that you are holding. And we're going to take a deeper breath. And we are sending this light, this love of the God, the one that you believe in, the energy, the universe, your angels, this pure light of love. And we are going to send this air to your discomfort, to this judgment. Is it in your heart? Is it in your belly? Is it in your throat? Where are you holding on to judgments? What are the things that you're judging of yourself? Breathe into this feeling. And breathe out slowly. Just acknowledging this feeling. Knowing that it's okay to feel it. It's okay to be present with your emotions. And take a deeper breath. Now that you know this space, intentionally send this beautiful air with light into this part of your body. See it as a living thing. How is this discomfort? How is this judgment affecting your body and your emotions and your heart? Just breathe into it. And slowly release. Breathing out, releasing a little bit more. Relaxing your body a little bit more. Being present with your breath. This breath of light that is traveling in and out of your body is helping you move this energy of judgment. It's helping you release those things that you judge as unacceptable, as unforgivable. We're going to breathe life into this space. Breathing love and light into your heart. Opening your heart. And breathe. Take a breath. And let's send this light with the breath into your heart. And imagine how this breath with light is surrounding your heart. Reminding your heart, it is okay. It is okay to feel this pain. It is okay to release this pain. It is okay to release this judgment. Just breathe into this feeling. Observe this discomfort and breathe. And as you breathe in deeply, sending this air of light into this discomfort, and as you breathe out, you release it a little bit more. Sending in love, breathing in. Opening your heart a little bit more. Allowing this air coming into your lungs, activating the love inside of your heart. Let's invite your heart to join you. And ask your heart, and ask out loud to your heart, help me forgive myself. I'm ready to forgive myself. I am ready to be free from this pain. Take a breath. Say it out loud as many times as you need to. I'm ready to forgive myself from this. Help me release this pain. Help me release this judgment. I let this judgment go. And breathe into your heart. Breathe into the discomfort. And release. And place one hand on your heart center if it's not there yet. And allow yourself to connect with your heart. Connect with your heart center. Breathing deeply. And releasing. Breathe again, deep, deep, expanding your chest, expanding your belly. Let's breathe into your heart. As your heart is activating the energy of forgiveness. Imagine your heart just expanding with love and light. Envision this discomfort dissolving, sending love to this judgment. Whatever it is that you're judging yourself, let's send love to that part of you. And breathe deeply into your heart. And release slowly. And invite your heart to join you in this forgiveness. Just repeat after me. I love myself. And I forgive myself. And I release this discomfort. And breathe deeply into this feeling. And release. I love and I accept myself. And I forgive myself for judging myself as not good enough. And breathe. Keep expanding your heart. Keep envisioning this light, helping you forgive yourself, helping you release this discomfort, this pain, this shame. And take a breath and release. I love and I accept myself. And I invite my heart to send love to every part of me that hurts. And take a breath. I love and I forgive myself. And I release any judgments that I'm holding on to. I let go of this weight. I invite love and light into my heart. I am lovable. And take a breath. And once more, I forgive myself. I love myself. And I commit to continue to love myself every day. And take a breath. And release. I am lovable. And I deserve love. I deserve peace. I deserve joy. And take a breath. And release. I am love. I am light. I am peace. And take a breath. Let this air help you release what is ready to be released today. Activating your heart. Let's make the intention to receive. the love that you were breathing into your lungs, into your heart, into your belly. Let's take it with you through the day, through the nights, to come back to this feeling anytime the discomfort comes up. And take a breath deep, deep, deep into your belly this time. And slowly breathe out the mouth. One more time. Deep, deep breath into the belly. And slowly breathe out of your mouth. And thank yourself for forgiving yourself. Thank yourself for being present with your heart. Thank yourself for activating your inner love, because you are lovable and you deserve to be loved by you. Take a breath and slowly breathing out through the mouth. And you can slowly start to move your limbs, your legs, your hands, rotating your head. Take a deep breath and releasing. And you can slowly start opening your eyes. Thank you so much. If you join me during the meditation, I appreciate you. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed this journey. And I really hope that you can join me next week. Next Monday at 9:30, we're going to be doing part 3 of this self-love series. And if you want to continue to support me, you can also go to my YouTube channel that I'm going to be posting the replays there with a little bit of the guide of the stuff that I spoke to about. Oh, I'm so needed this meditation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining, Barbara. It's so nice to see you here. So nice to see you, Adrian. I love you guys. Thank you. So please let me know your experience. It's always so loving and so helpful for me to know your experience, to know that it's helpful. Thank you too. Thanks, Adrian. And join me next week. Go to my YouTube channel and support me. That's the way that you can support me so I can continue to post more videos. I'm going to be posting this one. The one from last week is there as well. And if you let me know your experience so I can continue to bring you the best meditations possible that comes through. And for those of you who want to know how to work with me, you could go to the link in my bio or send me a message. I love you so much. Have a beautiful night. And I see you on Monday and in Spanish on Wednesday. Bye-bye.